think this is yours. There you go. Here they are, everybody. Let's start with me. Go down the way. You know who they are, but they'll introduce themselves. It's on.
Hello, everybody. Jason Burkberg playing Little John.
Hi, I'm Lee Ehrenberg. I play Grumpy.
Hi, I'm Francine Lee and I play Wendy.
Maria.
Hi everyone, I'm Rebecca Major and I play the Wicked Witch.
Hello, I'm Sean McGuire and I play Robin Hood.
Thank you guys for being here. Did you have any idea how large a success this show was going to be when especially the few of you here that began with the show, how big it was going to be?
No. This is working, right? Okay.
No, it is. Can you give us a little bit in the side clothes? That'd be great.
I had no idea, but everyone be mindful I was a bit of a cynic. This is just my 7th show, and a lot of my shows only went 13 episodes. So this is such a unique show, and the concept is just unlike any other, that I thought, okay, this is probably going to last 13 episodes, but like every other show that's so great. But it didn't. And now we're starting our 4th season, and it's unbelievable. And
it's real quick, just a matter of business. If you are taking a photograph and using flash photography, if you could cool it. It's like a disco up here. So we'd appreciate that. Thank you very much. When you, and each one of you has a very iconic character. What were your thoughts upon assuming one of these classic characters? That was either in different media and different movies.
I must say that one of the most amazing things about really our writers, because great television is about great writers. You need 22 great quality scripts for a season. And one of the great things that our writers did is they took the qualities of the characters that everyone already loved about the fairy tale world and didn't change that, saying to the audience, these are your fairy tale characters, but we're just going to change the in-between points, right? So when you read these scripts, you have the established kind of stuff about the character. But for example, my dude, the original Grumpy's a misogynist. He's like, I don't like women. Well, I like women, right? So I was happy that my dude, the reason that he became, say, grumpy is because he had his heart broken. You know? And truly, right? And they give us that, and when you get that to play with as an actor, it gives you somewhere to go. So I don't play the iconic character. I play the character that's written in these pages. And then if this audience comes to me and says, wow, you're hitting all the notes, well then, thanks. Because if you set out to do something like match a legendary film, I mean, you got no hope in hell. So you better not even try.
On that note about the reason why he's grumpy, and everyone that has either that is a villain or is grumpy or is wicked, there is a reason, and the writers have given you hardcore reasons of why you are that way. I'm assuming that it did nothing but help you create that character, help you build that character.
Yeah, I think, you know, if I had just been wicked and horrible the whole time, then it's very one note and very flat. And I think one thing I really appreciated with the writers is that they actually showed my backstory and showed all the reasoning as to why I had it out for the evil queen and why I was being so horrible to everybody and trying to terrorise everyone's favourite characters. And I think if they hadn't done me the justice of actually telling everybody why I'd become so dreadful, it would have been one note and I just would have been horrible. So I'm really, really grateful to them that they gave me sort of a well-rounded character to play, to show that vulnerability and all of that, rather than just a one-note villain. This had lots of colours and vulnerability and emotion, and it was just much more fun for me to play. I was really grateful for that.
And Lana, yeah. The reasons behind why your character is evil kind of came in dribs and drabs along the way. I understand that you have a very psychological approach to your character. What conversations did you have with the writers as you're going along? Did they give you information that this is why, or did it just come as the scripts came?
Well, we did have a conversation in the beginning, but one of their biggest notes was, this is a human being. It is an iconic character, the evil queen, but that can be very theatrical, over-dramatized. She was a real person, and that's where I started, and that really informed so much, and that's why I was able to bring this humanity, this vulnerability. She's so dynamic, complex, and I think it was a marriage between what I brought and the writers created, producers, and we found this character together. So it was.
But it is one of the things that these guys love, and especially about your character, is that we fucking believe you. That's the time of evil Rigo.
He is.
I think I was like one of the first ones.
He was, and he covered his face in his profile pic. He was like, he Snow White.
I wrote it on my hand, you know? Don't tell Snow.
You also had an additional challenge of being one of the couple characters that knew what was going on the whole time, especially in the first season.
Well, that's actually I didn't. I didn't know where they were going to go. So I would give them options. I would do 3 different takes and let them choose. And so that's what I did. Because I had no idea, they wouldn't tell me anything, and I like not knowing. Because it keeps it spontaneous, and I'm in the moment, and I'm experiencing it as, you know, with the audience. So I don't really, I hate spoilers. So don't ask me any questions, because I won't, well, you can ask me questions, but don't ask me what's going to happen, because honestly, I don't know.
You guys haven't received script 1 of season 4 yet.
No, we'll get that.
It's top secret, man.
Oh yeah, we signed our lives away. Truly. We probably won't get that script until about a week prior. Yeah. Well, you can have lunches with the producers and kind of pick their brains, but they don't tell you much. They really don't.
Let's we started at the beginning, we'll go to the end, and we'll go back and talk about audition and how you got the job. But let's talk about Frozen. Just to skip ahead, did you know, did they tell you that was the tag, or was that top secret until it aired? What did you know, and what can you tell us about your knowledge?
That wasn't even in the script. It wasn't. And that's what they do every finale, is they keep it top secret even from the cast. So we have no idea.
Yeah, and it wasn't on the call sheet either.
No, it wasn't on the call sheet. It was like, I only knew that they were doing a hair test for some new character that was coming for the, for the 4th season. And I had no idea who it was. I didn't know anything until I watched the finale. I learned at the same time I was doing it.
I had a bet with myself that it was Olympus, that we were going to Olympus, and I saw the blue was like Hades. Hades!
Hades! That was actually one of the cool things, because we had that screening. We do a screening at the end of the year where they'll show the finale and we all get together, and it's at the agency of the producers. And Steve Perlman, who's the executive producer, he's kind of the one that follows your Twitter. He's the one looking for any like gaps if you like spoil something. He was stoked because he was watching. He's like I do. I like watch the East Coast feed on my Twitter. Like I can judge by what you say about the different characters, whether you like my line or whether you like what's going down. But he was stoked. He's like, there was not one spoiler about that. And that's tough in this day and age to actually like even surprise us or surprise the audience. It's tough to do.
But our crew is really good at keeping secrets too, because they're kind of in the know. Because we need the hair person to do the hair tests. We need Eduardo Castro to create the costume. So some people know, but they really honor the secrecy, which I think is really cool. And
that was the same thing with like Bex's character, right? Like before you got there, the whole makeup test, the whole green thing, and that was like, it was super secret because there's people that'll watch on the set that are fans, right? Some of the people will come up and check it out, so you have to be careful because you don't want them to be spoiled either.
I had to do my hair and makeup test outside because I needed to be near where they were shooting. So they were all shooting a scene outside by a pond somewhere, so I had to go to them for it to be videoed, for it to be emailed to LA, for everyone to sign off on my green face. So I came out of the hair and makeup trailer with, you know, all the rich costume on, the green skin and the nails and everything, and they were like, okay, bend down. I'm like, for what? This is weird. Not, you know, this is a new job, interesting. And they draped a blanket over the top of my head, and I'm like, what's with the blanket? A bit weird. Then they like hustled me into a van, and I had to bend down in the van, under a blanket. I'm like, where are we going? What's going on? I'm a little bit confused. But I just went with it. What are you going to do? They're paying me. So off we go in a van, and I'm under a blanket, and then we got to a lake, and I'm still under the blanket, and it's muddy, so I'm like sitting in the mud, and they had made this like black tent for me, and then I get in the tent, and then everybody was hiding like, welcome to the test! I'm like, oh, I didn't know where they were taking me, I was very confused. But everything was so top secret. That was definitely the best secret I've ever had. I couldn't even tell my mum and dad. My mum was so annoyed. Like, come on, tell me I'm your mum. I'm like, I'm not doing it, mate. So I didn't tell them anything. So when it finally came out, then like, because I love Twitter and I love tweeting, so when it finally came out, I'm like, oh, thank God I'm the Wicked Witch. So I can just, good secret.
What are some of your favorite moments from the show? Shooting some of your favorite scenes?
I really liked, Lana and I had a scene right near the
Right before the
thing that everyone got a little upset about. Obviously, it's not made Marion's fault she came back to life. It really isn't. But we had we have a lot to shoot. It's like shooting a mini movie every week, and so we don't have an awful lot of time to indulge ourselves in terms of, oh, let me try it this way. We have to just shoot and move and shoot and move. But Lana and I had a really sweet scene. I think in the penultimate episode where we had a little picnic by the fire. We had a great director, whose name escapes me, Ron. Yeah, and we just, for some reason, we had a lot of time that day, and we really had an opportunity to kind of play it out and try it different ways. And Lana, not that it's a surprise to most of you, is an incredible actress, and she, every time we hit the tape, she did it a different way, with the same lines, and I as a fan, was sitting there going, wow, this is really impressive. I was like, shit, I should probably do some acting as well. I was sitting there going, gosh, she's really good. My line. So that was really good.
Kiss her too, huh?
a bonus.
Yeah. So yeah, that was one of my favorites.
Oh, one of my favourite scenes was at the beginning of 319, and I loved with all my heart being on my broomstick. I loved it. They got a body double for me, you know, same height, same hair, they dressed her up the same, and they were going to put her on my broomstick. No. And they're like, oh, I'm so sorry, we didn't know you would do it. I'm like, I want to do it. So I kicked her off. I got on, and they put a harness on and everything, and the studio ceilings are so so high. But there was this one scene at the beginning of 319, so I come from up in the air and came swooping down through the air, jumped off my broomstick mid-air, and everybody, all of these guys were in the scene, and then sort of landed and floated and carried on talking. And it was just one of these moments where I'm like, this is my life. I'm the Wiki Witch, I'm on a broomstick, I'm working with all of these talented people, and it's just in that moment I have never felt so blessed and so lucky, and I'll never forget that for the rest of my life.
The most beautiful green woman on the planet. I love working with everyone here, but I'm going to take us back to season 1. Second episode. Working with Robert Carlyle. Oh gosh, he is just fantastic. It was the scene where she wants to enact this curse, and it's the jail cell scene. I love Bobby. He is just so fantastic, and I do learn so much from him, but one of my favorite moments was when he grabbed my face. And it was almost as if we were going to kiss. And I just remember feeling like I was hypnotized by him. And something happened to my body, and I took this deep breath, and it was almost like I was inhaling him. And he was holding my face like this. And it was very sensual. It was like a really sensual moment. And then I smacked his hand away. And there was all these beautiful colors, and there's so much to discover in these scenes when I'm working with him, and I'm working a lot with a lot of people, but you know, we have, our scenes together are really special, I find. We love to play, and he's just so experienced, and so he's been a mentor for me. He's like my big brother on the show. So that's one of my favorite scenes, and gosh, I can go on for too long, because there's so many beautiful moments, like the scene with Snow, when the evil queen rips her heart out and puts it then back in her chest. Yeah! I love those moments. These are the scenes that we're waiting for. And this season is sitting at the seance table, and Snow and Regina have that most beautiful, honest conversation, and they just have it out. And those are the moments that we want to see, that are not in the original stories, that have become it's our characters. This is the show we're writing, and I just love it. I love it, and I am beyond blessed. Beyond. I never imagined playing this part, and I'm fucking playing this part.
Favorite scene?
There.
I don't really have a favorite scene, but I definitely have a favorite episode, and it was Second Star to the Right, end of season 2. And I love that because it was my first opportunity to bring Wendy to life, and she just had such a bubbliness and energy to her, and I just love that. And obviously in the 3rd season she's not quite the same, you know, she's been in a cage for quite a while. I don't think you're going to be the same after that. But yeah, I love Second Star to the Right. It was when I got to work with Dylan, who's a lovely guy, and I got to fly, which was really, really fun. So yeah.
I mean, you know, for me, I've been really lucky too, because you know, the dudes have really written me some cool shit. And that's the thing, like, I think for me, like, my memories, I mean, if I were to go, I have a lot of great scenes. Obviously, any part of that Dreamy episode for me was like super cool, you know? To get to play kind of a romantic character after 30 years in the business, being like a, well, I don't know, some sort of like guy who never gets the chick, you know what I mean? And that romantic storyline was the payoff for me as an actor, because, you know, it felt like, in the scene, it was not the Dreamy episode, but it was the one where I meet Snow White. And we're both in jail because we're in love. We're fucked because we fell in love. And we sort of bond. We don't like each other, you know, at first. And then there's the scene when she's now had her heart busted, and there's the dwarves waiting to take her home, right? And it's the scene that we have on this road, and they lit it so beautifully. And our crew is just amazing. Our DP, Steve Jackson, he knows how to light. And it was just a beautiful scene, and you could just feel it was evocative. And I have this line to her where she's going to take this potion and wipe out her memory. And I say to her, I need my pain, because it makes me who I am. It makes me grumpy, as if like, and it's a beautiful moment for me as an artist, because it's like, dude, I have a heart. And I'm a crusty fucker because of that. And it sets you up. It sets me up for the rest of time. Because I've established it with you guys that really there's something underneath it. So then the next time they give me like, oh, she could have had a monkey baby, What's wrong with monkeys? Well, I like monkeys.
Is that true? Do you like monkeys?
I actually don't.
Jason, before we get to Jason, my favorite scene is where I get to see you again. And that you're not dead. That you're not a dead monkey.
Yeah, I was really nervous when I got turned into a monkey because I'm like, am I ever coming back? So I was nervous. I'm like, I really hope they write me back in, and I was really sweating it for a bit.
God, that rent needs to get paid.
Yeah. But I want to be on the show. My favorite scene was when I got picked up by the monkey, running towards the Storybrooke town line, and chasing that turkey. And when I got picked up there, again, it's all about the flying. Like, we love to fly, and we like to do our own stunts. But the cool thing about this scene was they rigged me up in the harness, they have a crane, and they put the $100,000 camera in front of me, and they go, just run as fast as you can towards that $100,000 camera, and we got you. Oh, really? And that's what I had to do. So I run as fast as I can towards the camera, and thank God they had me.
They told you to do it. If anything went wrong, it's not on you.
Exactly. But the camera would have been destroyed if I hit it. Like, I would have been gone. So that was my favorite scene, but it was also my worst favorite scene, least favorite scene, because I hate running. I hate it. That's fitness. So I'm like, hey, that was great. I'm like, oh, awesome. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. And Sean's like, Jay, how you doing, man? Like, Sean's like, Jay, how you doing? Are you doing okay? Yeah, Sean, I got this, buddy. 2 days I can't walk after. Crazy.
They do have oxygen available.
All right, let's open it up. Questions, come on down to that mic. Please walk to your next destination to get there. There's some water right there. Please state your name and the purpose of your question.
My name is Wesley, and I'd like to say something before I ask my question. This is to Miss Perea. You do really well in Once Upon a Time as the evil queen, but I would say you do really good as Maleficent.
Don't tell her to leave, Julie.
You've been hired. You're going to represent me from here on out.
There's time travel now, so you never know. Maleficent might be her in the future, come back, and
Who knows? I played Ursula.
It's so funny because I look at those posters and I go, that's Lana, that's cool, she looks great in that poster.
Thank you.
and your question.
My question is to Perea again. Do you like being the evil queen more, or do you like being the mayor more?
It's a very, very good question. And it's it's a difficult one to answer because I really enjoy playing both. I get, sometimes if I'm playing the mayor for too long, I really start to miss the evil queen. And if I'm playing the evil queen for too long, I start to miss the mayor. So we have a nice balance, but I'm ready to be evil again.
Not towards
I think they've set up for it, so.
I know. But I will say, I prefer the Evil Queen's costumes.
Because this is one of my questions. You've had probably the most extensive wardrobe on the show. What is your favorite costume that you have one?
That's always tough. Well, let's see, the one I can breathe in. I love, there are two, and I've seen them, I saw them yesterday, actually, those red velvet, that red velvet.
If you're wearing it, yes, stand up.
The Heart of the Lonely Hunter, when I seduced the huntsman, and there's really, she's wearing it. That is one of my favorites, and also I saw it today in the Hansel and Gretel episode when I had that huge, big, J-Lo hair. Yeah, there it is. Oh, I love this. This is perfect. Yes, that's my other favorite costume.
I like the battle armor one because that one is probably the closest to honoring the original with the crown and the cowl and everything. That one's pretty cool.
Dude, what about the one with the super plungy neckline? That was the one you invaded me. And I just, in my mental thing was like, oh my god, I'm just gonna get baited by that cleavage.
It was Wesley?
Yeah.
Thank you, Wesley.
Thank you
for your
so much.
question. We're going to have to cut the line, I think, where it is if we want to get anywhere near through these questions. So, let her rip.
Hi, my name is Samantha. My question is for Rebecca and Lana. As an actress, I get to keep my costumes for films, but do they let you keep any of the clothing? Because it's so extensive, that wardrobe. I would love to pick and choose something for that, at least.
There's no way Eduardo would let go of any of his creation. Darling, I love it, it's fabulous. There's no way. I mean, he would kill us if we took any of those big costumes.
Not only that, she's absolutely right, but some of my costumes are about $8,000. So, unless I have like a really special birthday, I don't think I'll be taking it home.
If you could choose one to have, is there one that you would
It would be one I can probably wear most.
Without assistance getting into.
Right.
You would put on.
Which is impossible. I
If I
people
could
that
take
help me.
if I could take any of my costumes, when everybody found out who I really was in Storybrooke, I started wearing like leather pencil skirts, sexy hats. I could totally walk around New York and just feel really sexy in those. Those I would totally steal and stick in my suitcase.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is also Samantha. My question is, I guess for all of you, if you could choose one of the jobs of the Storybrooke characters, who would you choose and why?
What if you could pick one of the jobs of the regular denizens of Storybrooke? What job would you pick?
Probably a psychologist. I think I would love to be I think it would be fun to sit there and analyze people.
I'm waiting for the curse that makes him just unleash everything that he's ever heard. And then she said this about you.
That would be fun. Anyone else?
Well, I'd be Granny, because I like to cook. I have a lot of good specials in my joint. I mean, but I also think like it would be fun to be Dr. Hopper, because everyone in town is so batshit crazy. You'd be like the richest man in town, and be like, all right, you're next, 10 minutes, next patient.
I think Emma Swan being a bounty hunter is pretty cool. That would be...
You would look so good in that dress, bud.
I've actually dressed up in that little red jacket a few times when nobody else is around.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jessica. I have a theory question for you guys. I know you don't know anything. Have you ever pondered that maybe Blue is the biggest, baddest villain?
Blue Fairy?
Yes! She's older than Uncle Stilshin, and she cries in everybody's life.
I've questioned her a few times.
I mean, me too, she screws me over, for sure.
She's giving me a few dirty looks in that area.
But I didn't figure both to help you out the second time.
She's full on, it's her way or the highway. You know? Like following, that's the thing about the magic, like the white magic. Like the dark magic has less rules. Like to live in the world of the good magic, it seems like there's more rules. Like you can't mix dwarves and fairies. That made no sense. It was ridiculous.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Brianna, and I was wondering, as someone who works in Vancouver, if you found any differences between the industry in Vancouver and the industry in LA, if you could give any advice to actors who live and work there.
I mean, there's jobs in Vancouver, apparently. No, I mean, all the film businesses left LA, right?
Well, there's nothing really filmed in LA anymore. There are, I think there were like 30-something pilots filming in Vancouver this
You live in Vancouver?
Yes.
I think Vancouver is probably a good place to start because there are so many, 1-hour dramas shooting in Vancouver now. They tend to hire like maybe the main 4, 5, 6 characters out of Los Angeles, but then everybody else that they need to be guest stars and recurrents, they are doing local hire. So that's a great way to build your resume, to do an episode of one show like Arrow or Once Upon a Time. But you can get into those shows there, so you could try and get some of those in Vancouver, and when you've got a resume, then you can come down to LA and shoot, try and go and get your own show. Right, that's it.
Hi. My name's Nicole, and I just had a question primarily for Lana, but Sean can jump in this too. Entertainment Weekly was talking to Adam and Eddie, and they said that they were discussing the season with Lana and talking about how you were going to have this progression where you were falling in love, and you said, "Awesome, I'm enjoying falling in love so much. I'm having such a great time," and they said, "Well, you should enjoy it because we are going to destroy you." And we are going to destroy her relationship, but they just kind of trailed off after that point. They didn't say what your reaction was, so I'm curious to know, were you like, "What the fuck?"
I know a little bit about it, and I didn't want to tell Sean, because they did tell me that, and I
did say to me, we had a conversation, and I was like, I'm really enjoying getting to be her boyfriend. And I was like, do you know what's going to happen? She said, "Oh, I know something." You know what? I really shouldn't tell you. And I thought, at first I was like, "Oh no, you can't say that, tell me." But then I realised it was for the best, because it's a bit like they say in Back to the Future, nobody should know too much about their own future, because in real life none of us knows what's going to happen tomorrow. So it's best to play what's on the page today, and we just enjoy riffing off each other.
One thing I did know that I never told you, I'm going to tell you for the is that they did tell me in the second or third episode that I did kill Maid Marian. So I only know who she was. She was a peasant woman. She was helping Snow kill her off with her head. But I always knew that, and so it was my little secret. And I always, when I would look at him, it was just like this little, it's like the actor/character secret. And I don't know if anyone, probably no one ever saw it, but it was fun to play.
I didn't know when I joined the show that there was ever going to be a relationship between me and Lana. I just thought I was coming in to be Robin Hood. I'd steal some stuff, give it to the poor, and then stuff along. And then when this lion tattoo thing came up, I was like, I might be her boyfriend soon. So that was kind of exciting and interesting for me.
Well, all I can say is Pixie Dust never lies. This is fun. I mean, what are you going to do? So I those outlaw queens.
So were you upset when Adam and Eddie told you that? Were you like...
That's right, that was your question. Hello, were you upset? Yes. I was upset. I did really enjoy being in love. Well, as Regina. And Lana, that's different. But I really love that, especially because we waited so long for her to find happiness. So it broke my heart, as I'm sure it did for many of you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hi, and I swear this was my question before all of that. In that penultimate sequence in the finale, when everybody was all mushy and lovey-dovey and macking on each other, Regina and Robin were the only ones who kissed with tongues. So I was wondering, if you think kissing with tongues gets you in trouble.
I don't remember being drunk.
Let's roll the footage.
Pictures don't lie.
I don't think they're already done. Sorry to disappoint.
We keep it pretty PG on the set, but then when we finish,
Hello. My question is more about comparing, like, let's say, do you find it surreal watching, let's say, Snow White now and then playing the character with Snow White, or playing the Evil Queen and then watching now the cartoon and then playing her?
I'm sorry, could you say that again?
Okay, sorry. My question is about, do you find it ironic watching, or do you find it strange watching the Disney version and then playing the Once Upon a Time version of the Evil Queen?
No, because it's like what Lee said. For me, there isn't. Yes, I'm playing this iconic character, but she's so different on our show. And when we were creating her, my inspiration was not from the original Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Actually, my inspiration was Glenn Close from, what is it? Help me. What? Nope. No. Nope. No. Fatal Attraction. Yes, because it's psychology. So that was really. I mean, I pulled from so many different places, but not from.
You have to, and you actually. This is the thing. People get all crazy. Like we've had actors, and sometimes they'll be like, why do I stop here? Why am I drinking tea? Why am I? Because it says it in the script, dummy. So your number one job is to do what's in the paper, right? Getting the part or whatever is where maybe they want to refer to what these legendary characters were. But our job is to interpret, Adam and Eddie's vision. And so we literally go from what's on our page. And that was the most amazing thing on the pilot, and why we were all very excited, is the chance to play two characters, these dualities, the fact that, let's say, Snow, Grumpy, and Charming are the most together characters in the fairy tale world, and the most messed up, dysfunctional ones in the story. Right? I mean, Josh was a freaking tool. I'll never forget when he was sitting with me when the episode when the curse was lifted initially, and my line to him was, "There goes the tool belt. Just drop the tool belt." Because he was a total tool, David Nolan, right? And even he admits it. He's like, that was hard. It was a real challenge to play like that character. So you really owe it to the script to respect the original, but our job is to interpret the new. And then it's your job as the audience, because we're not acting if you're not watching, right? We're not actually doing our art. We're a crazy person and we're on the Bluetooth. So when you have to be there to watch. And it's what you think about it. It's how do you feel that it relates to the original? And what do you see? That's our challenge. And when that lines up, then you have 50,000 people in a panel at Spooky Empire.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Ray. My question actually involves something you kind of mentioned. It's about all the stunts that you guys have done. Is there a moment for anyone that you felt unsafe, or you felt like, oh my God, I'm reading, like you were saying with the camera, and you're reading, and you're like, Regina's gonna get the what? And you're like, you just feel like, were you unsafe at any moment, or did you feel like they took care of you?
There was one scene, you know, the big fight in the barn, with Lana and Bex and...
Oh God, that's a day.
That was a really tough scene, but we had a bit of a disaster that day. We had two very unfortunate things. One of our crew, it was a big farmland thing, and there was a big hole with water in it, so it just looked like muddy ground. And this hole was filled with cow. One of our crew members was walking along and then just went right here, and he actually had to climb out, covered from head to toe.
He didn't climb out because he was starting to drown.
It was like
he nearly died.
It's quite difficult to get out of.
It was like a swamp of poo.
And so he had to go home and take a long shower. And
he came back to work.
He had to go to hospital because it's apparently quite dangerous. And then so we thought, oh, we had a bit of a disaster today. Then, when we're doing the scene where Bex flies me and Josh back, and then Colin and JMO back. So we do a bit, and then our stunt guys, who are brilliant and brave, come in and, you know, carrying the crossbow and stuff. If you get pulled back with a wire, my stunt guy, the guy who's my double, the crossbow hit him in the face and cut his face up real bad. And we went over, we were like, you okay? And, you know, stunt guy's really tough. He's like, yeah, I'm fine. And then we were trying to make him feel better, which we shouldn't. We should have just left him alone. And then Josh was like, oh, that looks like you're going to need stitches. And then Lana came over and goes, oh, you've got a cut there. I've got a cut there. I was like, Lana, we should leave it. I need to go to hospital. Stop making me feel better. So that day in the barn was a bit of a tough one for a few.
I never got scared ever flying on my broomstick, even though I was like 200 feet off the ground. But do you remember the scene where I made Glinda disappear? Yes. Maybe you'd be happier back in the enchanted forest. And I just went boom, and she just disappeared. Now, of all the stunts and all the things and all the jumping around, I just went like that. And my shoulder still hurts. And when I'm in the shower and I'm doing my hair and I put the stuff, I'm like, ooh, bugger, that hurts. And every time I have a shower, I think of Glinda the Good Witch.
I see that magic comes with a price.
No, we all know it is. That's what we like to call karma. That's why I hurt her and now I'm left with the pain. Brilliant.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Nemo Like a Fish, and yeah.
That's long.
We found you.
For a lot of ideas, it's from me and my friend Fabiola, who couldn't make it today because she's in Puerto Rico graduating today. But, sorry, if I talk a little fast, I'm a little nervous, just a bit. So, we wanted to know, we wanted to know if, how do you think Regina feels about Zelina being dead, even though we're denial that she's actually dead, but still.
Well, you know, I think there are mixed feelings. There was a line that was originally scripted that they cut out, which was when we're in the jail cell, she turns back, and Regina turns back and looks at Zelina and says, it's nice to have family in town. And they cut it! Yeah, that was exactly. The way I see it is that's still part of how she feels. I think that, you know, she had high hopes for Zelina, and she wanted her to come around and have this sort of, you know, the revelations that Regina has had. So I think it's, but then she's holding that brooch, and that in the mausoleum, and she's putting, and then she has a different look on her face. So I think she feels she's satisfied that she's been able to, you know, evil always wins. And I think she's happy that she defeated Zelina, but I think she probably would have liked to have had a sister around. She doesn't have any family, like no blood relative, they're all dead.
I just want to take some comments. First, I'm sorry for almost knocking you over when I took a picture with you yesterday. And second, we love the sass that Regina has.
Thank you. It's important to be sass, baby.
I'm Shannon. My question is for Bex. I know we were joking yesterday about how Zelina's too adorable to be dead and she'll come back to life. If she does come back to life next season, what would you want her story to kind of be like? Like, how would she go on?
That's a really good question. I mean, I think, you know, I love the Evil Queen storyline, and I love the fact that, you know, you've had all that backstory, and then you were evil, and then you've come through, and it's like, I think that the challenge about playing a villain is you just don't always want to be really, really pissed off. And so I think if Zelina is going to come back, you know, it needs to be that journey of maybe having that forgiveness. But, you know, then it's also a challenge of how they write it and then not just be nice again. So honestly, I'm not that good of a writer. I literally would just have to lie back and think of England and trust that they would make it really exciting and interesting. I'm not that good.
We have time for 2 more questions, so you and our next Evil Queen.
If you could change one thing about your character, what would it be?
I would go from 6-inch heels to flats.
Hi, my name is Jonette, and I just want to say I was lucky enough to meet 3 of you guys yesterday, Rebecca, Sean, and Lee. So thank you for that opportunity. And my question is, we've seen on the show that people can come back from the dead. And so I was wondering if the Wicked Witch was able to return, would they be able to use her to defeat Elsa?
Oh, hello, Wicked always wins. There it is. You've been hired as a writer.
Yeah! You can say, we'll take you with us.
All right, you, and then this is it.
Awesome. Hi, I don't want to be that guy. I'm sorry. I'm a little nervous. Lana, you are amazing. You are my queen. Everybody, Regina's mayor, but you know, Regina's the president. The mayor's kind of But anyway, I'm sorry. You just have this way you deliver things on screen. Like anything you say goes. Like I'm like, I was has a point, but no, never mind. You know, Regina's mad. Like, I just wanted to know, how do you think personally what Regina's like? Since she's had so much character growth over the last couple of seasons, like honestly, she's one of the characters that has grown the most and gone through the most of the brunt of all the things that's happening. I just was wondering, from your point of view, what do you think Regina's next course of action is? Because in the past, her thing would have been like full retaliation, like against Emma and Snow. But now, as she's grown as a person, she understands that no, it's not against black and white. What do you think?
I think that old habits die hard.
Yeah.
And this new betrayal by Emma is one of the last things she said is, "You're just like your mother."
Yeah.
And I think that that's going to spur something new or old. And it's just resurface. I think Regina's going to kick some serious ass this year.
All right, we're gonna get you guys over here so we can do a spooky selfie with everybody in the crowd and you guys. Come on down. We'll get everybody to stand up.
Stand up.
Oh, they're smart. A spooky Oscar selfie. There's that one. A bunch. All right, we're going to do one with our professional photographers with you guys right over here. Let's make a bunch of noise for our once upon a time. so much.